Thanks for joining me. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to streamline your development workflow using dev containers. If you've ever dealt with inconsistent environments, dependency conflicts, or onboarding that drags on longer than it should, dev containers give you a clean, reproducible setup every single time. We'll cover how to configure a dev container, customize it for your stack, and use it to create a predictable, isolated workspace you can reuse across projects or share with your team. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully containerized development environment that eliminates guesswork and keeps your workflow fast, consistent, and reliable. Let's dive in. All right, let's get looking into our VS Code right now. And right now, I just have this Go program. I don't know Go, so this is just a hello world that I found online. Actually, Copilot wrote it for me. But we're going to start here. You know, this could be a Python script. This could be a C++ program, whatever. What we want to do is try to get into a containerized environment where we can run our code through VS Code, so we can continue to troubleshoot it and work on it, and not have to worry about having to install all the software on our computer to make this programming language work. Which, who knows? Go may be really easy to set up, but you know what? We're not going to find that out today. So for starters, we need a dev container config. Also, before I go much further than that, I do want to say you do need to have Docker or Podman installed. I use Docker Desktop. The only thing is just make sure Docker's running before you try to start up your dev container. All right. VS Code will integrate in with Docker and do all the setup for you once you have it configured in VS Code properly, so you don't really need to go start your image. You can just let VS Code do that. So, first step, let's do just Control-Shift-P to bring up our command palette in VS Code. You can already see that my recently used commands here, I have already, done some of this. If you haven't done this before, you're going to want to search for dev containers and add dev. That way you can see the add dev container configuration files. This is actually going to be a nifty little wizard. I just found this tonight, which makes this tutorial a little easier to do. Let's go ahead and just click on that. It's going to ask you where you want to put your config. I suggest doing the workspace, which, is what my code repo would be, because, I'm not going to use the same container image for all of my coding projects because they have different languages that I work on, So I'm going to keep this tied to just this project. So I'm going to add to the workspace. Next step, it's going to say, what is the template you want to use? It's already detected that we have Go here. And since I have GitHub Copilot, it is suggesting that I use Go. If you don't have Copilot, it may not be telling you to do this. You have a lot of options what you can do here. You could say, just open up a plain old Debian container. You could even set up Kubernetes, it looks like, somehow. I'm sure if you just start searching, you could probably find everything you need. I bet if I typed in Python, maybe it would show Python template. See, we have type Python 3. But we're just going to do Go. We're going to use the basic Go one that VS Code suggests. This one actually comes from Microsoft. If you have a problem with that, there are alternatives out there. You can look on Docker Hub. Or you could even use a Docker file, which we're not going to cover in this video. I can cover that in another video someday. Next, after you've picked that template, it's going to ask you what version. I'm just going to go for the latest. Trixie here refers to the version of Debian that this container is actually going to be running. The 1.25, I'm assuming, is Go. I don't actually know my Go version, so let's go with the latest and greatest. That's going to ask what additional features you want installed. A lot of neat stuff. You want to deal with 1Password, you could install the CLI for that. We're not going to do that. Kind of wondering if it shows like Go extensions or anything. There's a Go vulnerability scanner. Yeah, I don't see anything as far as extensions, so we're just going to hit OK with nothing selected. Going to ask about including with GitHub config file. I don't really know what this is yet. Someday I may know, but you can just hit OK for now. Here you go. You got a pretty boilerplate dev container config. One thing I would like to do before using this is I like using extensions in VS Code. That's what makes VS Code really nice is, you know, being able to have it highlight your code or know about the programming language that you're using. So we're going to do a little bit of customization here. And first things first, we're going to put a comment after our image name here because we're going to add another parameter in here. And this is JSON, so we need to have our comments in the right places. We're going to put customizations, uncomment that. And we're going to see if it's going to be really nice and know exactly what I want to do. And lo and behold, GitHub Copilot has kicked in here. If you don't have GitHub Copilot, this is not going to happen automatically, probably. Because I'm assuming it's Copilot doing this. But this is exactly what I want. We're saying we want to customize the VS Code. And this is just going to be a list of extensions I want installed to support my project. In this case, it is golang.go, which is the official Go VS Code extension. So we're going to just save that. Good to go there. Let's open up our command palette with Control-Shift-P again, and we'll do dev containers. Reopen, and you should have the option to reopen in a container. Now it's going to fire up our image, which the first time you do this, it will take a little bit longer because Docker has to go and download your image. I've already done this once tonight, so it went pretty fast. You know, the next few times you get on and do it, it's going to be pretty fast unless the image updates. But you're kind of locked to a version with how we set this up, so I would not expect it to update too much unless you go and change your version tag here. So we're now here. You should have a terminal window. If the terminal window does not come up automatically, you just go to View Terminal. In this case, we can, I believe the command to run this would just be go run main.go. Look at that. I didn't install any extra software other than Docker and VS Code, but I'm going to use those for other languages. But I don't have Go installed on my PC at all. It's inside this container. And let's see, I can do a go build main.go. I know there's something with git mod init, so I could just have done go build. And now we have our compiled program. There we go. So that is how you use dev containers in VS Code to help work with your development environments. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.